Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV on the Social, our new interactive social media show where we answer questions sent in by you via Twitter. You might recognise the face next to me. It's the boss. You alright, mate?
Yeah, I'm alright, mate. You?
Recovered from Newcastle?
No, not really, no. I'm knackered.
Still in a bad way?
I'm knackered and my knees are sore, but yeah, I'm alright, yeah. I'm fine, yeah.
We'll get on with it then. Right, first question is from Ryan Wingrave. You'll like this one. I know what yours will be. Right, worst away day experience you've had? Mine was 3-0 loss to Reading in 2012-13 and we had 2 players sent off.
Yeah, I went to that one, I think, as well. But that's not my worst away day. It's only one away day that I've been to my worst one. I mean, I've been to some bad ones, don't get me wrong. I think I went up to a Blackburn 7-1. I think we lost 7-1 up in Blackburn. I've been up to Man United when we lost 6-0 in the FA Cup. But Millwall,
What, the 4-1?
4-1 at Millwall. And I mean, that was an absolute awful day. Awful day. I mean, from the very get-go, we just didn't turn up to the game. They missed 2 penalties. We had a man sent off. It was just...
So it was a good day out then?
No, it was terrible. It was awful. It was the most awful experience I've ever had in my life. I've never been so upset as I am as that day because, you know, Millwall, they're a tiny club compared to us. We hadn't played them in God knows how many years, you know, and you know they had some good players at the time. They had Carroll playing for them. He turned out to be a superb player. But you know, we was the big boys, the big shots in the Championship at the time. And to go to your rivals and absolutely surrender to them like that was an absolute embarrassment for me.
I can't even remember us beating them like that.
No. They just was up for it, and we just didn't know how to deal with it. They just, really got it.
Went to town on us.
God, did they? Jesus Christ, it was terrible.
I'll tell you my one. I don't know if you'll remember it.
Go on.
It was 93, FA Cup 4th round away to Barnsley. Right, we lost 4-1. There was no roof on the away end. Fucking hailstones the size of golf balls.
Yeah.
Right, next one is from Paul Finn. Says, I've read that we're making inquiries about Arsenal captain Mikel Arteta. I think it's a step backwards. I don't think it would be. I still think he's a good player.
To be honest with you, he don't play much for Arsenal now, does he? No. In terms, they've got some world-class midfielders. So I remember him being a very good player for Everton, Arteta. It's been a few years since then. His legs, he's getting older, obviously.
Would you think he's a bit similar to Song, like that style of player, where he can slow going down, pick the pass out? But, if we've already got Song...
No, I think he's a bit more action than that. He used to score a few goals, and... No, not really. I don't think he's the same sort of style as Song. He's more of a box-to-box midfielder, or I think Song's a sort of like a deep playmaker, but... is he anymore? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Would he have the legs?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But it depends on the wages. If he come for £10,000 a week, I'd say yeah, take him. But
he'd be a decent player to have on the. He's still a decent player. But like I say, it's just how much game time he's been getting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we should be looking forwards now. Rather than backwards, rather than sort of players towards the end of their career, we should be looking at getting players in the prime if we really want to kick on to what we want to do in, going into the new stadium and kick on in terms of league positions. So no, I wouldn't like to see him here. No, definitely not.
I don't know. Might be right as a squad player. Might bring on.
Yeah, but I don't want a squad player. I want someone to improve the first team now.
Next one is Chris King. Says, is it time to cut our losses and sell Carroll for whatever we can get in the summer?
Oh, I'm a massive Andy Carroll fan.
Yeah,
I'm a massive Andy Carroll fan, but it's getting to the point now where I'm gonna say yes.
Do you think he's on big money as well? Isn't he?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's in terms of it all depends what we want to do in the summer as well. I mean, you spoke about this on the social a couple of times about the marquee signing. Now. Carroll, I think even in today's squad, if everyone's fit, I don't think he makes a team. You know what I mean? In the way that Bilic wants to play one up front. But if you want to sort of bring in a marquee signing, a marquee signing, I think what the idea of a marquee signing is for fans is the big striker, the big centre forward that's kind
Going
of
to get you 25, 30 goals,
35 million pounds and score 20 goals a season, and that's the thing, So that means Saka would have to drop out the side if we carry on playing the way we do, and that means Carroll's third choice. Then, I think for the amount of wages he gets on, I even think this because it's just because of the newest injury that he's had. Is he ever going to be 100% fit?
He's always going to break down.
We never seem to be able to get a consistent. He comes back and plays well. He's been playing well. I know these are only minor niggly injuries, but you don't see him for so long. A long period of time. He comes back. You think, right, he can really kick on from it. He plays like 3 or 4 games, gets into the swing of things, starts scoring a goal. He breaks down for a week or two, sort of ruins his momentum.
He's been playing well.
In the last few games, in the last 4 or 5 games, he's played well, and it just seemed to me like it bemuses me because he seemed to open up once in the last 4 or 5 weeks against Bournemouth, do a real intense sprint, and that was him fucked. Do you know what I mean? So, is he ever going to get to the point where he can play a whole season? I doubt it.
Well, I mean, what's it been there for? 3-4 seasons.
3-4 seasons now, and then a couple of seasons before Liverpool. I don't really know what he was like at Newcastle, but he was a very young man then. So
he's only like 20, 21. I mean, he's still, he's only like.
I don't know. No, I think we should look to offload him if we want to get that marquee signing. If we want to get that big name striker in, I think he can go.
This one is from Max. It says, "What do you make on the rumours about Lacazette?"
Well, they're rumours, but if there's any truth in them whatsoever, going back to the last question, that is the major marquee signing that we want. He could be. He's sort of one of Europe's hottest properties at the minute. He scores goals for fun. He's fast. He's quick. He can. He's a lump. He's going to cost big money.
How much do you reckon you'd be looking at? Like, say, the 35, 40 mil mark?
Yeah, something like that, between 30 and 40 million, I think. He tears it up in France. It's a gamble, but,
Any player's a gamble.
Any player's a gamble, but...
Payet was a gamble.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And, but that's exciting. If that's true, if that's what we're really looking at, that's a sort of...
That's a statement.
That's a statement, and that's the type of player we should be looking at. Signing if we want to progress to the way we want to progress, and it puts us up there with the likes of Tottenham and Arsenal. If you can start competing for them for these players, you're moving in the right directions.
There's 2 here from Connor Doherty.
Okay.
First one, do you think we have the potential to keep up the good form and finish in top 5?
Yes.
I do.
Short answer, yes.
Yeah. I think just keep playing the way we're playing. Get as many points on the ball as you can.
Just keep on winning the games, and don't worry about what everyone else is. Everyone else seems to be sort of beating each other. So if we keep on winning, we had a loss yesterday. Just carry on going as we're going, and just see where we end. I
think if you start setting targets, going, we're going to finish 4th, and then you don't.
Yeah,
if you just go, we'll see where we finish up, and
potential, yes. Yeah.
Next one from Connor. Do you think Payet is one of the best players we have had since Bobby Moore?
Definitely. Absolutely spot on. I've seen a lot of players over at West Ham in the terms of flair. This guy has got everything. Yeah. I can tell you from personal experience, this guy's got everything that needs to be, to be a top player. Even Tevez is ambition, and Di Canio, he's like a hybrid of them all, And his work rate and Paolo Di Canio's skill, he's got all the tools to become a greater West Ham. Yes.
I mean, for me, I'd say modern era. Yes, but I was lucky enough to, when I was younger, I got to see Trev Brooking play. I got to see Alan Devonshire, players like that who, at the time, were probably considered like the Payet of the day. So, I'd say. In the last 20 years,
He's up there.
Definitely, yeah. He's up there with the like. You know, he could be up there with the like.
Yeah, he's got to carry on the way he's going. Otherwise, it's no good, having a magnificent start to your West Ham career if you're just going to play like a wanker for the rest of it. Because that's not how you become a legend. But if he keeps on going the way he's going, he could be definitely one of the best that we've ever seen over there.
All right, next one from Ben Howlett. I just say it's a bit redundant there, anyway.
Well, ask it anyway.
It says, "Do you think we should sign Charlie Austin?"
Well, before Southampton signed him yesterday,
I would have said yes.
Yes,
Definitely. For the money they paid for him.
We need a striker.
Yeah.
So
$4 mill's a bargain. Really, especially if he goes on to score 10, 15 goals for him. It's
stupid money. Money.
Yeah, Goldie Jr. Would you rather play Antonio or Moses on the left?
Antonio.
Yeah, I'll say on recent performances.
Just on recent attitudes I see yesterday. I'd just say Antonio. I'd ship Moses back tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, I know people might think we've been critical of Antonio, like when he first. We've been critical.
He's our player.
Yeah.
You know what? We've just gone over sat on post match pint, and I've lost all. Like, I think Moses is a decent player. I don't think he's fantastic. That's why he's not playing for Chelsea. But
the attitude
of him. If it was me, if I run the club, I'd send him back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there you go, Antonio. Antonio, Moses, or Valencia.
I'll say we're chatting Valencia in this time.
Yeah.
Is this the last one? Yeah, this is the last one.
And that's from Joe Blowers.
Antonio and Valencia. I play them one on each wing.
Yeah.
I think Valencia's good as a winger. He's a better winger than a forward, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
when you're playing him two up, when you're playing two up front, he's a good sort of support man, and I think that's where he thrives. He's a good support winger, So yeah, I'd play. As I said, I'd send Moses back tomorrow after what I see yesterday. That's just personal opinion. I just seem to dislike him now. What he done yesterday was awful in my eyes. So,
and you'll find out about that on post-match point.
Well, you'd have already seen it if you're watching it.
But I said the only thing that drives me out the wall, Valencia, is his touch.
Yeah,
for professional football, he's
got to
touch.
work on his touch. A touch is something you can work on. That's this. He's got all the brains. He's got the skill.
He's international as well, though. That's the thing. He plays international football.
He plays for Ecuador, and maybe they're not. The Premier League is a very fast-paced game. Do you know what I mean? And you're playing. I don't know where he played before. I think he played in South America, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember before.
Maybe the touch isn't as important there. You know what I mean? As the pace, because the game isn't as fast as it is here. But it's something you can work on. I mean, going by yesterday, he went in for Newcastle. Sort of one-on-one with the keeper, and his touch let him down completely. He could have touched it and got a shot away, and he couldn't even control the ball. Let a defender come and take it off of him. So you can work on that, and if I was sort of Bilic, I'd have him working on it tomorrow.
We've got a special on the social next week because we've got 5,000 subscribers. What we're going to do is a Q&A. So you got any questions for any of us? Hashtag WHFTV social. If it's to someone in particular, put their name so we know it's aimed at. But it can be ask us anything you want.
Yeah, it's ask us anything. So all four of us are going to be on the panel. You can ask us anything, personal questions, whatever. And as the boss, I'm going to put a little prize in line. We want to get them. We don't want them where's West Ham going to finish this season? Blah, blah. We want
amusing ones.
We want amusing questions. We want to be entertained next week, and we want a lot of them. So whoever sends in the best question, and I'll let Scott pick the prize. Whoever sends in the best and funniest and things, something that makes us think and makes us laugh, we'll send them a T-shirt as a prize. So whoever gets in the best one, I'll send them in a T-shirt as a prize. Yeah.
Anything you want to ask us.
Yep.
So do put the name of the person the questions aimed at, just so we know. So. If you want to get those questions in, it's just hashtag WHFTV social. So you can do that on Facebook, on the comments section, or on Twitter. So don't forget to check out our website, www.westhamfan.tv. Got the shop up now, haven't we? Mm-hmm. So, follow us on Twitter at WestHamFanTV and Facebook.com/WestHamFanTV. So we hope to see you next week then. So we're finishing on the way, Nick. Yeah. Come on, you irons.